In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.
Tech Zone, ABC News Radio came in. Paul Amadeus Lane. Thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And I've been harping on it all show long. There's a girl in a harbor town. If you want to know what I'm talking about by singing that, make sure you check out the first segment of the show. Yeah, I'm teasing. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to make you do your homework. Check it out, and it'll do some splaining on why I'm singing that song right now during the show. Have you ever wondered where companies get their focus from, get their direction from? It could be really the difference between being successful and not being successful. I met a gentleman back in 2018 at the Abilities Expo, and what they were doing some focus groups on wheelchair users. And me being in the wheelchair for over 26 years, tell you a funny story right quick before I get back to that. Of course, I'm like a pinball machine. I go this way and that way when it comes to stories. Brett Malik used to have a sound bite, the way I would switch up stories and everything. It was like a Scooby-Doo sound or a Space Ghost sound. But I used to do that a lot on the morning show. Nothing's changed. But I remember my niece, Megan, she'll be 15 this year. But she must have been about 4 years old. And my sister worked at a daycare where she was at. So I called my sister. I said, hey, let me talk to my niece right quick. So my niece gets on the phone and says, hi, Uncle Paul. And then I'm talking to the kids. Started to get a little rambunctious and loud. And my niece said, be quiet. It's my Uncle Paul. He in a wheelchair. It was funny. I thought that was kind of cute. It's funny how kids say the cutest things that you never forget, as they get older. But let me go back to what I was saying about this gentleman I'm about to introduce here on the show. What they were doing was doing focus groups about wheelchair users, and it was so insightful. I never knew the research that went involved, or they showed me what wheelchair companies should be doing to really get feedback and data from wheelchair users, and not having someone who's not in a wheelchair make the decisions of how a wheelchair should look, how it should feel, how about the features that's on a wheelchair. It's good to get the input from ones who are in this situation, like myself. I had opportunity to run into him at CES 2019. It was so funny. It was on the broadcast bay. I see this guy waving at me and say, hey, that's Mike right there. So I got a chance to invite Mike in, have a discussion with him. And I tell you, Mike is one of the bright minds when it comes to tech and innovation. And I'm so happy that he joins me here on the Tech Zone.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, I almost was too formal. I said Mike Courtney. I'm sorry. Sorry, my friend. So, CES 2019, this is like our playground, man. When we first met, you and I were talking about technology and things like that. So it's finally here. What's been your impression, my friend?
I mean, I've been coming for a long time, and we're talking probably, 20 plus years, and every year you come and you say, okay, what are we going to see? What are we going to see that's sort of the promise, the hope, the hype, and what are you going to see that's actually something that, okay, hey, they took last year's version and they actually made it real, and now it looks a little better, and now it doesn't fall apart if you try to touch it, those kind of things. So this year, definitely seeing a lot of progress. A lot of things going on in AR, VR, in terms of the visuals, the glasses, the platforms. Displays are no longer flat. Displays can curve and mold and bend and cover entire surfaces. The world around us is definitely changing, and it's bringing technology to us. It's serving us the way technology should serve us. So it's an exciting show.
That's so true. And when you look at, and I've been talking to several guests about this, the different buzzwords out there when it comes to CES. I know a few years back it was tablets, smart devices, the Internet of Things. And from your expert opinion, Mike, what do you think the buzzword of this CES is?
I think there's more than one. That's the thing. We're really getting into the implementation weeds, so to speak, and the details. So definitely things that are voice interactive are still really hot. Whether it's Google Home, Alexa, anything far-field voice, being able to just speak and have it react. Robotics is definitely growing this year. All sorts of things that not just toys, but things that can have functional value in a factory or for somebody that needs a robot to move and manipulate things. And then of course automotive. Automotive is really a much larger presence at this show than has been in the past. All the different autonomous things, all the different sensors, technologies, things that are still in development phase, but boy, they're making progress.
That's true. And we were at the BMW booth the other day, and we were talking about how we're at partial assist when it comes to autonomous vehicles, but we're looking at level 5, real soon with LiDAR and all the different technologies out there. And when you and I met at the Abilities Expo, that's something that's going to help out ones from my community in particular when it comes to innovation. And that's what I always look at. How's innovation not only going to enhance the lives of those who are able-bodied, but also those who are disabled as well, too. And when you look at how technology was, let's say, even 5 years ago, they really didn't care about if it was accessible or not. But now we're starting to see just things getting a lot better. Is it because the technology is just making this umbrella be easy for everybody, or are they making a conscious effort? What do you think, Mike?
I have to say, I think it's really that the hardware and software just gets inexpensive enough that they say, hey, we have it, where else can we use it, what else can it do? And for people in the Abilities Expo community, for example, the things that they do have at their disposal, which might be being able to speak or gesture, or react in certain ways, even with their eyes. Technology is now able to take those sensory inputs and react to it. So again, instead of saying, well, I can't reach the phone, so I can't make a phone call. Well, no, I can just say, Alexa, call my mom. So the technology is getting cheap enough that it's just going to be there to do the things we want it to do, regardless of what our personal situation is. So technology is there for humans to use and benefit from, and we see a lot of progress there.
That's so true, and I'm glad I had you on because you know a lot about the industry. You've been in the industry for a long, long time. How is the drama that we're having with trade, amongst other things, how is that impacting innovation out there? Do you think it's helping or hurting?
I think it's hurting in a sense that the one thing you don't want companies to do, regardless of whether they're here in the U.S. or somewhere else, is to have to spend any more cycles than they absolutely have to, and any more resources than they have to, dealing with all the different potential trade issues. Because those are resources and dollars and time that can't be spent actually innovating. So the more people and dollars in a company that goes to trying to figure out what will or might happen trade-wise means that they can't put those same resources in actually making a product better or coming up with a product that was just an idea yesterday. So
yeah, that is so true. So being here on the show floor, what's some of the coolest things you've seen already? Or you just started your trek?
Just started the trek this morning, obviously. Again, seeing a lot of interesting things in displays that curve, displays that can fold and bend, so those are really interesting. Displays that can go on any service, voice-related things that can pick up your voice from really far away. Facial recognition, AI detection stuff. AI is a big thing. Machine learning is a big thing. The computers and the gear that we all have, all the gear that you've got here, is going to be able to do all the things pretty much that a human would do pretty soon. You'll be able to say, see this for me, tell me what that is, check that out for me, report back. Again, it's going to be tools that we can use in just amazing ways. Even in terms of being able to give it commands, for example, for a wheelchair to say, hey, I'm here, I want to go over there. Let me do that while I'm holding a drink and a sandwich. I don't need to use my controller. I can just tell hey, if I can ask Alexa for the weather, why can't I ask Alexa to take my chair and move it 6 feet closer to the table? Why not?
Wouldn't it be cool if I can say, Alexa, martini, shaken, not stirred? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Drink robots. Those have been out for about 2 years, but they're drink robots. Yeah.
I need to get me one of them, man. I've been missing out.
Yeah, it'll mix anything you want. You got a little keypad thing, or you can just speak to it, say, mix me one of these, has all the ingredients. Just, the whole thing.
Now, I want it shaken, not stirred, though. Can you do that?
Robotics, baby. Robotics can do all of that.
Now, Mike said I can create it because Mike is one of the bright minds when it comes to technology and things like that. And when we see just the innovation around the world, that's one thing I love about CES. You see people from all races, colors, religions, faith, genders, just come together for the betterment of tech. And it just really shows how, as humans, we have the capacity to get along, to work together. I'm not saying that there's no drama around. There's always drama and other things, but just being able to come together and be a part of this wonderful event. And it's like every year for the last year, there's been some controversy when it comes to CES. I know last year, FCC chairman Ajit Pai, he was supposed to be here and give a keynote. He decided not to because a lot of blowback from us in the media and also other people out there about net neutrality. And then this year, because of the government shutdown, there were several breakout sessions or several keynotes that government officials are going to talk about innovation. And I know a lot of innovators from around the world who are trying to bring their product to market here in the United States. They love the interaction with government officials because they need to know what they can do to get their market here. As an innovator yourself, Mike, and representing a great organization, is that going to set back innovation because of not having this interaction? What do you think?
I think it's just a part of, unfortunately, the normal course of business, right? And net neutrality, I think, is just one of the hurdles that we've got to get through and learn from and apply that to the next level, the next wave of change. Look at all the things, the sensors that you're going to see on the show floor this week. All these things that have sensors that can measure, capture, record, where's all that data going, who has access to the data, what's the data privacy? How many people are going to know that, hey, by the way, when I make my own martini, I like it shaken, and I shake it with this much force and effort, and then we'll be able to tell, hey, he's actually in a better mood. He's shaking the ice a little bit less than he would when he's had a really rough day. And all those things you'll be able to say, oh, well, that sensor now knows, hey, he's in a good mood or a bad mood. What do you do with that sensor data? Who has access to it? So net neutrality is one thing. We're going to be dealing with these things more and more going forward. More information about what we do, how the technology serves us, all leaves a trail. We've got to figure out who can see that trail.
That is so true. And what we really have to work on is the 5G, making sure that rolls out great for smart cities. But also we have to open up greater bandwidths here in the United States. We need faster internet. We need that. I mean, if you go to China, the internet's faster. Other underdeveloped countries, man, got faster internet than us. And it's like, what is not the problem? What is the problem, man? You know what I mean?
It's business model and margin, right? I mean, we know that the technology exists, right? Other countries have higher average speeds, so it's not we don't have the technology, couldn't do it. Right, I can't get it to go that fast. No, we can get it to go that fast. Other people do it. So it's just, in this country, what are they willing to invest in infrastructure so that the average speed is X versus, well, let's make a little bit more margin, just give everybody average speed of Y. So it's certainly technically possible. It's just a business model and margin issue that eventually we will get through. And 5G will be a huge thing, but also not only the fat pipe of 5G, but the thin, narrow pipes of LoRa, Sigfox, those kind of things where, things where I just need a little teeny bit of bandwidth, but I want it to go real far distance, real battery efficient, and to just be able to be inserted in any little thing. Anything could have a little chip in it and say, I'm here and I haven't moved, come get me.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's why I have Mike on to talk about him. See, he just got smarter than me on the interview, and I'm like, yeah, see, that's why I wanted to have him on, because he's one of the bright minds when it comes to tech. So, my friend, how can one find out more information about the great organization that you represent and some of the great causes that you guys are involved in?
We do a lot of things, everything from biotech and medtech, agriculture tech, a lot in automotive, and as we've interacted, things in the disability sector. So looking at ways technology can help people with disabilities, because again, the technology is capable of doing so much more than we're asking of it. And whether it's to make a controller that You don't have to put a bag over it when you go outside because it is waterproof already. I don't need to put a CVS bag over my controller. I mean, to use technology for the things you should be able to do. I mean, if I can buy a jet ski and take it out on the water, and of course it gets splashed all over and wet, and that doesn't affect the controllers, why can't I have a controller like that for a chair that, by the way, is going to occasionally be in the rain? It's all possible. We have just to put our minds to it and say, this is what I want. By the way, there's a market. If you give us this, I got other people like me that want what I want. Do it and, build a mousetrap. People will come.
See, that's what I'm talking about. So what website can they go to find out some of the great things?
So for me, we're a research and futures company. So we do marketing, research, near-term tactical, what people like, don't like, what they'll pay for it. And we help companies look out 10, 20, 30 years. So the company's Aperio Insights. Aperio is a Latin word that means to reveal, uncover, and make clear. Aperio Insights. Aperio is APERIO. And then Insights, AperioInsights.com. Check us out if you have any ideas. We like to support startups and entrepreneurs. If you have an idea and you're trying to figure out how to do the research to see if this is something you should continue putting resources and money into, give us a call and we'll steer you in the right direction. Even pro bono, if you're a startup, we'll get you aimed in the right direction so you can make the most of it.
Awesome. You know what, Mike, I need to get me a little startup. I don't know what I would do, though. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think of something, right? Yeah, come up with something. But Mike, hey, great talking to you, my friend. And great seeing you here at CES 2019.
Great seeing you.
My man, Mike Courtney Aperio. I'm sure I probably pronounced that wrong, right, Mike? You'll let me know, right? You'll tweet me or call me or text me, right? But wasn't that interesting to find out what his company does and how it, just is something that if you're in business, you need to have someone who can do this legwork for you. Spend the money, spend the resources. It's the difference between staying in business and going out of, not business, but business. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk to one of the publications in Washington, D.C., find out what they're doing out there when it comes to data, to news, and all that other great things. We'll be right back here with more show here on the Tech Zone. I'm Paul Amadeus Lane. And remember, there's a girl in the harbor town. You guys are wondering why I keep on singing that. You gotta listen to the first segment of the show. It explains it to you guys. All right, right back after these messages.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.